Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So in this video we will learn chapter 8 Biodiversity Subtopic 8.3 Microorganisms and Viruses. Microorganisms are microscopic organisms that cannot be seen by naked eyes. So this organism can only be observed under the microscope. Most organisms are unicellular. There are several types of microorganisms which are bacteria, protozoa, algae, fungi, and viruses. Let's discuss more about these 5 types of microorganisms. First, bacteria. Bacteria do not have nucleus due to the lack of nuclear membrane. Their genetic material exists in the form of chromosomal trait, DNA free-floating inside the cytoplasm called nucleus. Some bacteria have plasmid, which is small DNA molecule that carry extra genes. So we can see in this picture, this is plasmid. This is nucleus, and this is plasmid. Bacteria range from 1 to 10 micrometer long. Bacteria can exist as a single cell, a diploid, in filament, chain, or cluster. Bacteria can exist in a few basic shapes such as coccus, which is sphere, vibro, bacillus, rod or cylinder, and spiral. Example of bacteria include Lactobacillus species, Streptococcus species, and Staphylococcus aureus. So, the name of the bacteria, such as Lactobacillus, refer to the shape, rod and cylinder. Example, Streptobacillus. The structure is rod. Staphylococcus aureus, sphere. So this is the general structure of bacteria. We can see inside the bacteria. This is nucleus. Okay, nucleus is the genetic material is in the form of chromosomal trait, free floating inside the cytoplasm. You can see this is plasmid. Okay, some of bacteria have plasmid, small DNA molecule that carry extra genes. We can see the flagellum. Some of bacteria have flagellum. Okay, this is the shapes of bacteria. Coccus means sphere, vibro means coma, spirillum, spiral, and bacillus, which is rod or cylinder. Protozoa. Protozoa are animal-like unicellular organisms. Protozoa move around using pseudopodia or force feed, cilia or flagellum. Protozoa are usually found in aquatic habitats. Protozoa are heterotroph or autotroph. Means protozoa can make their own food or cannot make their own food. Euglena species is an autotroph of protozoa because it contains chloroplast and it will do photosynthesis. Protozoa can be free living or parasitic. So this is an example of protozoa. Okay, amoeba move using pseudopodia. So this is pseudopodia. Paramecium move using cilia. Okay, this is cilia surrounded the paramecium. This is euglena. Euglena move using flagellum. Amoeba species is found in tap water. So this organism can damage eye cornea. Thus, we are advised to not use tap water to clean contact lenses. it is safer to use sterile cleansing solution. So this is the info related to protozoa. Algae. Algae consists of unicellular organisms like Chlamydomonas species and multicellular organisms such as brown algae, fucus. Some algae have flagellum to move in water. Like plant, algae have chloroplasts and they are therefore autotroph. However, algae do not have leaf, stems or roots like plant do. Algae live in ponds, lakes and ocean. So this is the example of algae, such as Chlamydomonas. Okay. Chlamydomonas is the unicellular organism. Fucus species is the multicellular organism. Fungi. Fungi do not contain chlorophyll, thus fungi are heterotroph, either parasites or saprophytes. Fungi do not contain root, stem and leaf. Fungi have cell wall created by chitin. Fungi exist in the form of mycelium, which is made out of network of thread called the hyphae. Fungi are unicellular organisms such as Saccharomyces cerevisiae yeast or multicellular organism, mucus species. Fungi are found in the dark or moist places and on decomposing or organism. So this is the example of fungi. So we can see the structure of network of thread called hyphae. So this is hyphae. So this is the picture of mucor, and then this is the structure of yeast. Viruses. Viruses are not included in any of kingdoms because they are not cellular organisms. Because the virus does not carry out any life processes outside of a cell. So that means virus reproduce using living cell by injecting their genetic material into whole cell. So the virus need the whole cell to live. Viruses are made up of nucleic acid, DNA or RNA, and capsids made from protein. The size of a virus is too small, 20 nanometer to 400 nanometer. Therefore, virus cannot be seen using a light microscope, but can only be seen using an electron microscope. Example of viruses are tobacco mosaic virus, T4 bacteriophage and HIV. So this is the example of virus. Okay, let's discuss about the benefit of the microorganism. One of the benefit of microorganism is in the nitrogen cycle. So what is the role of microorganism in the nitrogen cycle? So first of all, we have to know about what is nitrogen. Okay, what is the function of nitrogen? Plant require nitrogen to synthesize the protein in the plant tissue, and this nitrogen is obtained from the soil in the form of ammonium ions and nitrates ion. So how can the nitrogen gas from the atmosphere can be converted into a form that can be used by the plant? Because the nitrogen cannot be absorbed directly by the plant and animal from the atmosphere. The nitrogen must be converted into the ion in the soil. So let's discuss about the nitrogen cycle. So this is the picture to show the nitrogen cycle. First, when plants and animals die, decomposition is carried out by decomposers such as bacteria and saprophytic fungi. Protein in the body tissue will be broken down into amino ion via aminification. So this is the first step, the first process that the nitrogen, the source of nitrogen in the soil, the nitrogen, the protein is broken down into the ammonium ion through the aminification. So next, okay, this is how the atmospheric nitrogen converted into the ion. During the lightning in a thunderstorm, oxidized nitrogen to nitrogen dioxide, which dissolve in the rainwater to form nitrous acid and nitric acid, both from nitrates in the soil. So during lightning, this process is called atmospheric fixation. Okay, during lightning, okay, the nitrogen is oxidized to the nitrogen dioxide which is dissolved in the rainwater, and then it forms nitrous acid or nitric acid. So both from nitrates which fall into the soil. So it's converted to the nitrate. Third, industrial fertilizer provide ammonium fertilizer and nitrate in the soil. So as you know, the fertilizer contain ammonium, okay, and nitrates into the soil. Okay, the fourth, by nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay, nitrogen fixing bacteria that live in the root nodules of legume like rhizobium species, and free living nitrogen fixing bacteria in the soil such as azotobacter fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere and change into ammonium ion via the nitrogen fixing process. So the legume plants, okay, the legume plants, we call it in Malay pokok kekacang, have the root nodule. Inside the root nodule, okay, there are nitrogen fixing bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria can fix the nitrogen at the atmosphere, convert into the ammonia. There are example of the nitrogen bacteria inside the root nodule is called rhizobium. Free living in the soil is called azotobacter. So both bacteria is called nitrogen fixing bacteria, can fix the nitrogen into ammonia or ammonium. Okay, what happened after this? Ammonium in ion are converted into nitrates ion, NO2 minus, via nitrification by nitrifying bacteria Nitrosomonas. So the ammonia or ammonium convert into nitrates by Nitrosomonas. After that, nitrates ion will be converted to the nitrates ion by nitrifying bacteria called Nitrobacter. Nitrates converted to nitrates by Nitrobacter species. Okay, so this nitrate will be absorbed by the plant. Okay, by the plant roots to synthesize protein in the plant. When the plant are eaten by the animal, nitrogen gas transfer to the animal. Nitrogen gets transferred into the animal tissue. Okay. Denitrifying bacteria convert the nitrates and the excess of nitrate in the soil into the nitrogen gas. into the nitrogen gas through the denitrification. So this is important to balance the amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere. So this is nitrogen cycle. The role of microorganism as a producer. So microorganism like phytoplankton are usually found floating on the surface of the oceans, ponds and lakes. For instance, green algae, blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, dinoflagellates and diatoms. As they have chlorophyll, phytoplankton can undergo photosynthesis. So it will can act as producer in the food chain, especially in oceans, ponds and lakes. Phytoplankton is important to aquatic organisms as producer in chain. Microorganism as decomposer. Saprophytic fungi and saprophytic bacteria are important microorganisms that decompose organic material from dead organisms. So, saprophytic fungi and bacteria are known as decomposer. Decomposer break down complex organic material such as animal waste, carcass, and rotting tree into the simple compounds such as ammonia. Decomposers secrete the digestive enzyme into the decaying organic material, then absorb the product of the digestive process. The product of this contain important elements required by plants such as carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, which are returned into the soil. So this is the role of microorganisms as decomposers, such as in the nitrogen cycle itself. These materials are then absorbed by the plant. Microorganism as parasite. The parasite benefit from the relationship while the host is harmed and sometimes die from the negative effect caused by the parasite. Parasite will continue to benefit for as long as this interaction continues. Hence, most parasites try not to kill their host because it's benefit for the parasite. One of the example of parasitic microorganism is Plasmodium. So look at to the picture, photograph 8.19, and this is Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a type of protozoa that live inside the female Anopheles mosquito. So this is Anopheles mosquito, okay, and transmit the malaria to anyone who is bitten by the mosquito when the parasite is transferred into the blood circulation system of the person. So the Plasmodium is the causes of the malaria, but the female mosquito as a vector. So the parasite, the parasite such as Plasmodium live inside the female Anopheles mosquito. Symbionts. Okay, symbiont is an organism which has a close relationship with another organism known as host. There are two types of symbiont. Ectosymbiont means live outside the host cell. Example, mycorrhiza, a fungi that lives around the plant roots. And the endosymbiont live inside the host cell. Example, the protozoa of Trichonympha. This is Trichonympha, which is live in the alimentary canal of termite. Okay, so this relationship give the benefit to the host. Okay, such as Trichonympha. Trichonympha will secrete the cellulase enzyme for the termite, to digest cellulose in the digestive system of termite. Okay, definition of pathogen and vector. Okay, pathogen is an organism which causes disease. For example, virus, bacteria, protozoa, and fungi. So the infection is the cause of when a pathogen such as the virus, bacteria or any other microorganism enter the body, divide and multiplies and cause infection. The disease caused by the pathogen will occur when the cells inside the body are damaged. This is caused by infection and the infected person shows the symptoms. Okay. In Malaysia, scientists are now using Wolbachia, a type of bacteria in the fight against dengue. Okay, the bacteria is injected into the eggs of Aedes aegypti mosquito to curb the growth of dengue virus in the mosquito, thereby stopping the spread of dengue. So, what is vector? Okay, example of vector is fly, cockroach, and mosquito. Some pathogens are caused by other organisms such as mosquito and fly. These organisms are known as vector. Vector means pembawa. The vector are organisms which transmit pathogen and cause certain disease. The bacteria such as Vibrio cholerae is spread amongst humans through flies. When a person consumes the food that has been contaminated by Vibrio cholerae, that might get cholera. The dengue virus is transmitted to human through the Aedes aegypti mosquito bites. And also the Salmonella typhi is bacteria are transmitted to human through the food and water that has been contaminated by cockroach. The effect of pathogen on human health. Okay. Pathogens disrupt the immunity system in many ways. Virus and bacteria cause sickness when they disturb cell function and cause cell damage. Some pathogens release toxin that could lead to paralysis or destroy metabolic activity in the body. Okay, example of the disease that's caused by the pathogen is hepatitis B. Okay, the symptom of hepatitis B: inflammation, swollen chest, skin and eyes, sclera become yellowish, or it's called jaundice, may cause fatalities. So the hepatitis B is caused by virus. Tuberculosis, or known as TB, okay, batuk kering. Okay, loss of weight, causing blood and shortness of breath is caused by the bacteria. Okay, dysentery, okay, cerit birit, stomachache, diarrhea and vomit is caused by protozoa. Tinea vesicolor or panah, whitish or pinkish patch on the skin is called by this type of disease is caused by fungi. That's all. Thank you.